Okay, so if you are tuning into this reading at the very beginning of doing it, I believe that it will play the video from exactly when I go live. But I've gone live 15 minutes early. So if you're catching this in post and you'd like to watch the reading, skip ahead 15 minutes, and that's when we'll actually start. I believe that I will be able to edit this video afterward, or at least put in chapters. So if that's the case, I will put a chapter at the in the description section of when this reading actually starts. So, like I said, I started this live about 15 minutes before, and I won't actually have it up until another 15 minutes from now, just so you know. So, you'll have to skip ahead. Test, test, test. Hopefully, you can hear me. Hello, if you are just joining me, welcome to this live stream. So, I will be starting the actual reading in 12 minutes. So, I've come on a little early, and in 12 minutes, we will be starting our full moon tarot reading. So, tune in 12 minutes, and we will begin. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, this reading will begin at 30 minutes after the hour. So I'm just waiting to give everyone as much time to get here, and then as soon as 30 minutes happen, so I would say 11 minutes from now, I will begin the tarot reading. So we're going to start in 11 minutes. I probably started this way too early, so oh well. Hello, welcome. Hello, I'm currently in South Korea, so we're much far apart from each other. Welcome to the space. Welcome to the reading. So I'm going to begin the reading in 10 minutes, just to try to get as much people time to come as possible. So in 10 minutes, I'll be starting the full moon reading. I've probably started this way too early. So if you are tuning into this, uh, we'll begin the reading in 8 minutes. So thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to start early to make sure everything was working. This is my first live stream, so it's pretty exciting for me. So in 8 minutes, we'll begin the reading. And this will be available in post as well. So if you want to come back to check it out another time, you're always welcome to. So we have about 7 more minutes until beginning. So 7 minutes. Huh, okay. Okay, so a little bit of a waiting room message for anybody. If you happen to be here or watch this, we've got an it's all good. So everything's good right now. We'll tune in. We'll tune in. I won't start the reading though. We've got 6 minutes. 6 minutes until I begin. All right, and we will begin in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And if you are just tuning in, we will be starting in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, I will begin the tarot reading. So thank you for joining. In 3 minutes, we will begin. Okay, and we will be beginning in 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we'll start the reading. Okay, so I'll be beginning in 30 seconds. Yeah, hey Kyle, Preston, whichever you. What do you want me to call you on these? Anyway, whatever. It's exciting to be doing one of these. I've never done it before, so I'm hopefully going to make this a regular thing. So my goal is to potentially be doing the full moons as a live reading. I think I like that a lot. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. Okay, so let's begin. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. For those of you who are here live, hello. For those of you who are catching this in post, welcome. This is going to be a full moon reading, giving us messages and information that we need for this full moon. So I'm recording this reading a few hours from the full moon. I would say, I can't remember the specifics, but I think the full moon goes exact in like 2 or 3 hours from now. So this is going to be, messages you need for now. But the thing about the full moon is that the influence and power of the full moon begins a few days before and continues a few days after. So when it comes to full moons and working with the full moon, they're an excellent time to let go of things. A lot of times, a full moon period will bring up things within you that are ready to be let go of. So we might encounter situations in our external life, or we may have thoughts and things pop up on the internal that may initially seem triggering, may seem like, well, what is this thing? Like, why is this coming back to me? Why am I getting this message again? I don't understand. Like, I thought I dealt with this. Well, actually, you probably have. And so this is actually coming up in this full moon moment to release. It's coming up because it needs to be seen, maybe even one final time, to for you to consciously acknowledge it and say, oh, this thing. Right, this thing. I'm past this thing. I can move on from this thing. And so, we get these sorts of um, images and understandings of things to help us let go. So let's take a look now and see what may be coming up here. So, hello to everyone who is tuning in live once again. And like I said, for you who have joined us in post after the fact, that's fine as well. Okay, so let's take a look here. Any messages for our December 2022 full moon? Okay. Okay, so we have, by the way, I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot deck right now. So we're starting out with the Four of Wands. We have oh, interesting. Okay, Four of Pentacles. And we have the Three of Cups. Okay, so this particular full moon, like I was saying, full moons tend to come up as times to release certain things, as well as to welcome in new things. You've got kind of both going on here. So it's interesting because when we look at this, these two cards are kind of giving us different messages. They're telling us a little bit of where you've come from and a little bit of where you're going, and maybe where we are all collectively anyway, because this is a collective reading. So this is for anyone who's tuning in. But when we have the Four of Pentacles, it talks about playing it safe. It's like keeping things close, keeping your cards close to you. And the Four of Wands is normally a homecoming card. It means coming back, coming home. But for this particular deck, I tend to relate this card to almost being like a portal, an opening into a new thing, a new way of being, because you can see all of them coming together to create this opening here. So a lot of times for me, this card can talk about like opening doors, a doorway into something new. And so to have these together, we almost have the exact opposite imagery inside of this card here, right? We have all of these lines and ropes and divisions that are stuck together. So it's like this full moon is giving you the opportunity to open up all of the crossed lines that may be within you, open them up into an opening, a portal into a new way, opening the door, right? The Four of Pentacles is about keeping things closed off, because it's an easy thing to do. We try to stay safe a lot because we've been through things, right? In the past, we may have been through difficult situations and tricky things, difficulty, even horrible circumstances. Life isn't always easy, and for a lot of people, really hard challenges pop up. And so, a lot of times when those challenges pop up, we tend to hold on to them subconsciously. And so, the Four of Pentacles can talk about being overly cautious, overly safe, out of a sense of not wanting um, to lose the little bit that we actually have. But this Four of Wands is almost saying like that may be how you feel, and you may have very good reason for feeling that way. But this Four of Wands opening is an opportunity to take some chances, just because things may have not worked out the best in the past does not mean that you don't have the opportunity to create something good for yourself in the future, or an opening for something new possible for yourself. And so there's a little bit of this energy of needing to take some chances. And where do those chances come from? We have the Three of Cups here, which is wonderful. So the Three of Cups is about celebrating with friends, opening up to new friendships, being open to celebrating with other people. And this is very fitting for the month we're in. Obviously, December, there's so many holidays and festival seasons in this moment, And as we move into the winter solstice that's coming up here, we're getting much, much closer to it. There's a need, when wintertime comes in to allow ourselves to celebrate with others. And of course, if you're tuning in, from the Southern Hemisphere, you're in summer, so it's not quite winter, but at least there's an opportunity in this full moon period to really reconnect with other people and really be open with others. And I think a little bit of that opening that we were talking about is, if you've been sort of alone a little bit recently, or keeping yourself away from other people, there's a bit of a need here to take a chance on others again. Allow other people to come into your life a little bit, and because there's a real amount of connection and happiness that's available from that. And so this full moon maybe giving you the opportunity to let go of some hesitations you might be feeling around other people, and open up to a new opportunity to bring others into your life. Okay, so let's look at some more cards. From the comments, Four of Wands, 1111 portal energy. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Totally. Four of Wands is like that. There's four ones. So yeah, 1111 might be a number that means something to you as well. Okay, so let's see what else. And actually, this moon cycle, I don't think it started on the 11th, but of November, but it might have been close to that, or our previous full moon may have been close to the 11th. So maybe that's sort of a reflection of the moon cycle that may have started with that 1111 portal, may be coming to some kind of reciprocity right now, potentially, if you subscribe to that. So let's see. Okay, so we'll just take these two. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Hierophant. Interesting. Okay, so once again, I do feel a little bit of a dichotomy here, which is interesting. The Hierophant talks about tradition. It talks about the traditional approach to something. It talks about the tried and true, but it also talks about the tendency of community and society to perpetuate things from the past into the future, and we do it for good reason. Society and culture comes up with adaptations on how to move through the world in a way that makes sense in a particular moment. But as time moves on, sometimes those traditions can apply still, and sometimes they don't. But, when we're talking about traditions in December, obviously we have these holidays, these traditions, these understandings. But I think, particularly in the moment that we're in, there's a lot of breaking away from certain traditions as well, coming up with new ideas, new traditions, developing new ways of doing things. So I think there's a balance being struck here in this full moon of looking back to the traditional things that exist in the past, and picking the things that we want to bring forward. And maybe letting go of other things. And with this Wheel of Fortune here, the wheel is constantly turning with the Wheel of Fortune. And so we're constantly moving from one thing into the next. We're constantly rotating into a new phase. And with the wheel, sometimes we go back, sometimes we go forward. We're moving around in this wheel. And so for these two to be together here, I'm getting a sense that this particular full moon is giving you the opportunity to take a look at some of these things. Some of the assumptions you might be working with that are based on culture, asking yourself, is this something I need to continue for myself, or is it something I want to let go of? Um, the right answer for that will be different for everyone. So it's a decision and an understanding you have to come to in your own, of really asking yourself, maybe there are beautiful things about traditional understandings of anything that I like, that I want to keep. And you have the ability to do that. And then maybe there are some traditional things that I'd like to let go of. This full moon will give you that opportunity. Um, And it can also talk about yeah, working with those assumptions, working with any kind of assumptions you might be holding from the past, and really asking yourself whether or not those assumptions still apply to your life, and then also um, asking yourself if there are things that you've learned from the past that maybe could be applicable for right now and maybe are worth keeping, right? Because every moment is an opportunity to experience something new. Every moment is an opportunity to recreate your future, right? The future is just made up of the present moment moving on. And so, this particular moment, you have the opportunity to look at the past and say, okay, what things am I carrying from the past um, that I want to continue? And what are some things from the past that just don't need to apply anymore? Because everything from the past no longer exists. And that's kind of the trick, right? The past is gone. There is nothing from the past that still exists. It's just the present now. And so uh, we inherit our present from the past, right? And so it's only like up to us in this present moment to perpetuate the past forward if we want, or to let go of the past moving forward if we want. We have the opportunity to do both. And so there's something about this particular full moon that's giving you the opportunity to let go of certain things, but also to maintain certain things. You have the opportunity to do both. You don't have to throw everything from the past away. Even if it no longer exists, there could be something from the past that you cherish. And that could be something that you pull forward into the present, maintain and utilize as yourself now to push you forward. Or it might be something that you're holding on to from the past that you really just don't need to anymore. And it could be a time to let that go. So I think that there's an opportunity for both in this moment. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, interesting. So let's keep going. I think we have a little bit of time left. So I'm going to pull. Oh, what's this card? Ooh, we have a couple bonus cards, or did I already use these? No. Okay, we got some bonus cards. All right, that's great. These have been pulled by coincidence, which is always important. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Okay, cool. All right. So this particular message for the full moon is talking about um this is an interesting combination. I think what this is saying is there's a need to focus on what you're working on, because the Seven of Pentacles talks about putting in work somewhere, and it can talk about like almost being ready for harvest. So there's an area of work that you've put in some part of your life somewhere that you've put a lot of work into. There's an opportunity here that a lot of that is going to be coming back to you at some point, but not necessarily right away, but the work that you've put in certain areas will come back. But with it being with the High Priestess here, the High Priestess is this highly intuitive psychic card. So it's almost like there's a message here about needing to know what work is worth it and what work isn't, right? I'm almost feeling with this a Nine of Wands energy, where a person puts in a lot of work into a lot of different areas, but is feeling really bogged down by them. And so it's almost like your intuition, your inner knowing will know where to apply yourself and where not. And I know that's always difficult and a tricky thing to pinpoint, but there's a sense of needing to go with your gut, right? Because I do think that there's probably a lot of hard work that is necessary in life right now, and probably you're going to put hard work into something anyway, and I think maybe you already have been for a while here with this Seven of Pentacles. And so there's a need here to pay attention to what you're applying yourself to, and to trust your gut on what to do, because I think that there's probably going to be continuing to be an impulse here to put a lot of time and energy and effort into things. But with this High Priestess, it's almost like trust your intuition on knowing what is worth your time and your energy and your effort, and what is not. And so this full moon is kind of bringing you with that door opening portal we had before, it's almost like there's an opportunity in this to um, see. Oh, we got this eye here to see within what is worth your time and your effort, what is worth your energy. And if you haven't not had clarity on that, or you felt confused about where to apply yourself in the past or in the recent past, and maybe you've got a lot of things going or you've got a lot of understandings of things and you're not quite sure what specifically to be focusing on, I think maybe this full moon is going to bring you some insight into that. And so it's going to be about tuning into the intuition on this. And so in order to do that, the best way to be able to do that, it's like it's those little things at the back of your mind when you're daydreaming that come in. So maybe this full moon, give yourself the opportunity to daydream if you can. I feel like you're probably pretty busy, depending on who's watching this, because it's a pretty open-ended reading here. But if you've been busy, if you've been doing a lot of things, if you've been working really hard in certain areas, try to come up and carve out some time for yourself where you can get those little daydreams to pop into your mind, because I think there's some really important messages that want to come into you in that kind of period. So if that for you means putting on the headphones, listening to some kind of album, instrumental or music, any kind of music, and just going for a walk, and giving yourself 30 minutes to walk somewhere without having to do anything and let your mind wander, like those kinds of moments are going to be really important for you in this full moon, because there's important intuitive messages that want to come into your life specifically about the work that you've been doing, that you've been applying in certain areas, and it's going to give you some clarity. So try to give yourself some moments of silence in the next few days, to allow these thoughts to come in. And like I said in the intro, because the full moon is such an great opportunity for clearing things out, a lot of times those kinds of messages will pop in, bringing up what's ready to clear out. So you'll come in, you'll have these ideas about what you're ready to let go of, what you're ready to walk away from, those kinds of things, but also what you're ready to walk into, and where to apply yourself, where to apply your effort, and where it's going to be worth it to you, to your heart. Okay, so there's a little bit more time. So I think what I will do is I'm going to pull just, let's say, two shamanic healing oracle cards, and then I think we'll close out the reading. So let's pull two shamanic healing oracles and we'll see how that goes. All right, so give me one. Okay. All right. First up is letting go. There we go. That's kind of, here, let me see if I can let you see. Is it reversed anyway? Yeah, it's reversed anyway. Okay, so we've got letting go here. So this card is all about releasing things, right? And like I've been saying, the full moon is this wonderful, wonderful opportunity to really reevaluate where you are and say, okay, and particularly on the emotional level, right? The emotional level. What emotional baggage are you holding on to? And are you ready to let that go? How do you let that go? What can you release? And a lot of times, you could even set an intention for yourself here. Take a moment at some point today or whenever in the next 3 days, to take some time, do a little bit of deep breathing, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Take some time, sit down, do that kind of thing. And after getting into a nice, calm sense, just blanket ask. You can do it out loud. You can do it in your head. Okay, what am I ready to let go of? And just allow things to come up. Just allow it to come up, because the full moon, it's going to be coming up anyway. So if you set that intention, if you put that out there, okay, I am ready to let go of things. What am I ready to let go of? And, let that come out. If you want to do a little mini full moon ritual, you don't have to, but if you'd like to, there's a really great one that I used to do that I like. Make a list, start it today, over the next 3 days. Anything that pops up in your mind in the next 3 days that you feel like, okay, that's something I want to let go of. Write it down. Write it down on a piece of paper, not in a fancy notebook that's bound, just a piece of paper you don't care about. Write everything that pops up in the next few days. And then once you have that, I would say, just try to do it over the next 2 days. After 2 days, when you have your full list, take it to somewhere that you can burn it. So probably outside or a fireplace or something. Take the list, read everything, say, okay, I am ready to let go of fear, hate, whatever it is for you. That time in fourth grade that I embarrassed myself by answering the question wrong, all of those things, write them all down. Whatever pops up in the next 2 days, say all of it. Take a lighter and burn it somewhere you can do it safely. Burn the letter. And that's a nice little mini ritual for full moons. I've done that before, and it's been really nice. So anything that pops up that you're ready to let go of, write it down in the next 2 days, and then burn it somewhere safely after speaking everything out. And that is a nice mini release ritual for you. You don't have to do that. You can just allow yourself to think about the things and say, okay, yep, that's something I'm ready to let go of. Even just doing that is enough. But the full moon is a wonderful opportunity to do that sort of thing. Okay, final card. We'll do one more. Okay, we got two. All right. Fine. Okay, first up, anger. Okay, interesting. So maybe anger may be something that you're willing to or ready to release right now. And so, don't be afraid of anger. If anything comes up that makes you mad, sit with it, see it, feel it. When we have powerful emotions, um, I think our impulse when they are uncomfortable emotions is to try to get away from them, try to just stop them, try to force them away. But a lot of times that can be really damaging in the long run to yourself because you're by disassociating from your feelings, you're actually disassociating from life. And so a lot of times you can feel really blocked, really lost, really foggy, or even depressed because you're not allowing yourself to feel your emotions. So, particularly with anger, because anger can be scary and challenging, try to give yourself some kind of space where you can be alone and you can feel what you need to feel and say to yourself everything you need to say. It's okay. Let yourself feel all of the things. Don't go to somebody else with it. Don't put your anger onto anyone else. Give yourself the alone time and the alone space to feel everything, even if it's scary, even if it's challenging. And be present with it, though. Be present with it. Don't get lost in it, but see it. As you're feeling it, watch it. Watch the feelings, watch the emotions, and tell yourself, okay, I'm here for you. I need to feel what I need to feel. I'm here for myself. Let's feel this and be open to it. And so if you have any anger that needs to come up, like I said, because these full moons are periods of release, these challenging things that might be bottled up can come up. So give yourself the space, give yourself the time to feel those alone if you can. And if you're with other people and, somebody else might, be pushing your buttons, just say, hey, look, I need some time to go through something. It's not up to you. It's not about you. It's all in here, but I need some time. I'm sure in a few days or tomorrow, I'm going to be fine, but I need to take some space. So really carve out some individual alone space for yourself if you can, and let those feelings come out because it's important to feel those. And if the full moon, because it's that release period and we have these deep emotional things going on, they might come out anyway, right? It might come out anyway. So don't be afraid of the anger. Let yourself feel it. Don't let yourself get lost in it. Just let yourself feel and watch it. And then as you do that, you'll come to a better place. So don't get carried away by it, but also don't block it, right? It's a fine line and it's a tough one. So, do your best. Okay. Final, we've got abundance. Okay, so after these releases, right, there's a lot of potential for abundance coming in. So, like I was saying before, you had that seven of uh, you had the Seven of Pentacles, which I think is highly related to this. So we'll talk about both of them together. And they look very similar. See, lots of coins. So the Seven of Pentacles talks about having put in hard work in places and almost being ready to reap those rewards. And so I think with this abundance card coming in, it's just kind of showing you that a lot of the hard work you've put in areas in the past will be coming back to help you in this month. And particularly, I think, because the full moon is the second half of the moon cycle from now until the new moon, the moon will be waning. I think as this moon wanes for this particular moon cycle, there'll be opportunity to have some reciprocity of past work come in. And potentially for the next new moon, it might be a great opportunity for um, working on manifestation of more abundance for yourself. So there's an opportunity for real abundance to come in here with this full moon. So open yourself up to it. Anyway, let's see. Let me check up on the comments, and then I think we'll be done. Cool, you mentioned daydreaming. Oh, thank you, Preston, for giving some awesome astrology stuff. So I guess as this particular reading is going on, Jupiter is in direct in Pisces, which is about daydreaming and creativity. Interesting. Okay. And it's won't be back in that area for 12 years. So we're in a really great opportunity for opening yourself up to this daydreaming creativity. So this full moon may be another opportunity for bringing those kinds of things in. Um, and yeah, anyway, thank you so much for tuning in here. And I am really happy to be doing these live readings. If you've checked this out after the fact, this is still a great opportunity. Like I said, the full moon lasts for a few days before and a few days after. So even if you're catching this a little bit after the full moon, there's still great opportunity to use it. And I would say even between now and the end of the moon cycle, which I can't remember when the new moon is, but it's in a few weeks. I think it's like a 2 week cycle from full moon to new moon. So even for the next 2 weeks, if you're catching this, you still have an opportunity to take advantage of these energies. Let the emotions come, let everything come up that needs to, and really let yourself release those things because they're coming up to be released. So be with them, be present with them. Don't block them. Anything that comes up, let it be there and watch it. Don't go off on a loop, but just be there as the awareness saying, okay, I see that this is what's happening. I'm going to allow myself to feel what I need to feel, and I'm going to flow through it. Right. Anyway, everybody, that's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in to everybody who's caught this live. This is exciting. Like I said, I think that full moons may very well be my live reading moving forward. I don't know. I think for now, I'm going to keep live readings to once a month. I don't know if I can do them more often than that, but I like doing a moon cycle reading as well. So I think that I will be doing at least a pick a card for the new moon in 2 weeks. However, eventually at some point, what my goal will be would be to do a astrology sign moon cycle reading. So I don't know if I have the time and the energy to be able to do that immediately, but long term, what I'd like to do is have every start of the new moon cycle give each astrological sign a moon cycle reading, even if it's a small one, and post those to the channel as uh, as videos, and then be doing these live streams at the full moon. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Um, Planning and life tend to be separate things, so I'll do my best. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day and a great full moon and moon cycle moving forward. And I will catch you later. Peace.